Here's my two 100-watt solar panels on the top of my shed. Here's an 8-foot grounding rod that I hammered into the ground with a sledgehammer. It was not easy being that the ground is clay and the earth is a natural a neutral, a ground, so it just goes right in there. And here's my wire, and I split the wire. See right here, I split the wire. This one goes up, and then it goes over to the solar panels on top of the shed. It grounds that. You can see here, so here's the inside setup. With the, I have a breaker box right here, and this is where the solar panels come in to here. Goes right down to through the breaker, out to the bottom, into my charge controller right over here, where it may be hard to see in this view. I'm the cameraman here too. It goes into where the solar panels are supposed to hook up on the charge controller. So that's coming in from the breaker box, from the solar panels, go through the breaker box. Just in case there's any kind of surge, I'm thinking that this may trip. I wanted to put another fuse and a breaker box in somewhere else, but this is a very simple solar setup. When I grow and have a better charge controller, I plan on getting a little more safety features there, just so my whole system doesn't blow up if a lightning strike. Who knows what can happen? Because that's really the only thing I fear is something like lightning. Even though I'm grounded, I just want to take precautions after you invest a lot of money. Anyway, so it goes through here to the solar panel hookup, which is the picture right here of the solar panels, and then out where it has batteries, I put this right down to the batteries, which I'll show you in a moment. That's out of the picture. And then I have my inverter right here, which I'm very happy with. This is actually a refurbished one. It cost me $200 years ago. Originally, I don't remember the price, but these are a lot of money, and this could run a lot. I have two AC plugins right here, which typically I plug in lights for my shed, music, etc. So this is a really good one. I'm happy with this one. My solar panels are from the same company as this. I did start out with a Harbor Freight charge controller right here, which I'm sure a lot of people that are into solar, they know exactly what this guy is right here. And this is actually, I like this charge controller a lot. It doesn't have a lot of features, but it does have a digital one here, which my nicer one doesn't. It doesn't have the digital. This one has a digital reading to tell you how many volts are left in the battery. It has DC inputs right here, or actually outputs, which go to DC lights. Then it has other little plugs here, USB. Not bad for the whole little kit that I had. So I still use that in my my solar setup. So now I'm going to show you the batteries. This is my battery setup. Now right here I have a brand new battery. So I hook up that to my bigger, more powerful inverter, which can power more, obviously, 1,000-watt. And I have 3 batteries right here, and they're very old. They're on their way out. I'm going to have to recycle them soon. And I have them hooked up to my old Harbor Freight one, which I like this one a lot. We can do the DC. Right now you see it's charging. It's at 14 volts. Now if I unplug the solar panels, it'll probably go down to like 12 something. And my DC lights can run a little while off these, even though the batteries are going out. But if you try to run AC off older batteries, they die very, very, very quick. And it's not even worth the hassle. But what I learned was that I'm running, if you buy the Harbor Freight little kit, it's these wires here. They come with DC lights, and they run a long time from these batteries, and it doesn't drain the batteries. But because you're powering this inverter and you're converting it from DC to AC, those batteries drain like that. So that's what I'm learning about, going DC. Now, if you want an off-the-grid cabin, I'm learning that if you have DC lights in and DC things in the cabin, then it would take a lot less electricity to run that type of stuff. If you're going all AC, you're going to need a lot of battery backup, a lot of solar panels to run your stuff. So anyway, to get back to my thing. So right here I have tied in is this inverter to the good battery. And then here's the solar panels. These are coming from the charge controller, and I could just go back and forth. So right now I'm charging these batteries, and then I'll switch them here. With this one, I typically run the lights inside my my shed. I have a stereo right here that I play when I'm doing yard work or inside. I think this is a very simple system. Like it's not as basic as like a Harbor Freight setup, because that's where I started out, was Harbor Freight. But if anyone has any questions or comments, please put them. Anything that you can teach me, any links to better videos, because I swear, I've watched over 100 videos. You're just trying to get to this point and understand this stuff more. What I didn't cover is I put these negative to negative and positive to positive, so I can still stay at 12 volts. I'm not trying to build up to anything more, and I'm still learning myself. I feel like this is a good, simple system. I didn't even have a grounding rod at first. I had this a system hooked up for a while without the grounding rod. Then I started finding out about that, started learning about arcing, etc. So hopefully the grounding rod will prevent any, lightning strikes or anything like that, because I don't want anything to blow up. But ultimately, this isn't an expensive system. If you really round everything up, maybe like a, you know, with these three batteries, it could be $700. But I think that if you spend around $600, you could get a decent system. With the breaker box and stuff, who knows? But one day I'm going to grow it even bigger and bigger, and I'll make a video about that. I hope any of this information that I said, I hope it wasn't too vague. I hope, I helped you along with all the other videos that you watch. And that's the whole purpose for the channel, and this is the whole purpose that I give my time.